Hello everyone, I'm Gweekles, and today I did not plan on making a video, but what had happened was we were gonna go out to eat dinner, and then my dad got home and my cousin got home and they decided we were gonna have Chinese, but I got all did up, so I figured I may as well do something nice with it, right? Somebody requested that I make a video about my sketchbook, and I think I've seen a couple of other artists do this before, where they basically just make a video and it's them flipping through their sketchbook, and I don't have a problem doing something that other artists have done before, and I want to do what you guys want to see, so I will bare the artist's soul and show you guys my sketchbook. I'm not going to skip pages or look at it beforehand. I'm just gonna show you my stuff and what will be. So prepare for a bunch of explanations. Well, not explanations, but I don't know. Like, I guess we're weird. Sketchbook's weird. It's kind of like showing somebody, I don't know, why do we feel the need like we have to explain what's in our sketchbook? I don't know if you do, but I know that when somebody I don't know well, or even if it's somebody I do know well, and they're flipping through my sketchbook, I feel like I have to explain, oh, well, this is such and such, and I drew this because this, and I don't know, I feel like them looking through my sketchbook is them judging me. And I guess it's because my sketches and my art is very important to me, so I imagine that has a little bit to do with, I want, what's important to me to be important to other people, or I don't want them to think awkwardly of me or badly of me because they see something in my sketchbook. And as you guys know, I'm pretty eclectic, so yeah. But that aside, let's look at a sketchbook. Ta-da! As you all know, I've been really in love with my Canson mixed media sketchbook. It's only 7 by 10 inches, and I know I should be drawing way bigger, but I really enjoy drawing small, and the 7 by 10 it's really perfect size for me, and I've fallen in love with this sketchbook because I've been able to do so much with it. Now it's not completely full, and I haven't had it a very long time, only a couple weeks, but I'm almost halfway done with it. I've been in a really good art mood lately, and I want to finish it. It feels so good to finish a sketchbook, and I haven't done so in a long time. But let's get going. So the first thing I wanted to do in my new sketchbook was, I'd been doing cute things for a while, and as I say quite often, I enjoy creepy horror things just as much as I like cute things, and when I do too much of one or the other, I feel the need to fall back on the other thing that I love, and this is one of the zombie monsters that you encounter if you play Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies. I don't know if they have a specific name, but we just say, the dogs are coming or whatever, but I think it's always like they're the biggest pain in the butt when they do come, and you have to like really prepare for them when they do, but when they do come, there's like, fetch me their souls, and I just love it. I love that game so much. I know Call of Duty gets a lot of bad rep, but I love the zombie mode, and it's all I played in college. But this was the first piece that I tried out with the Stedtladder fine liners, which I will still be doing a video on eventually. I did not know that they were not waterproof. I suppose I should have read before that, but I made that work with the piece, and I was able to go back over it, and I worked with it. But I did a couple of layers and washes, and I'm really happy with how this came out overall, and I think everybody wants, the first thing you see in your sketchbook to look really good. I mean, I don't know about you, but I really want like everything in my sketchbook to look fantastic, but I know that's impossible because it's a sketchbook. It's everything's not supposed to be perfect. It's for sketching, it's for you, but I'm really happy with this and the colors and just everything about it. It makes me really happy. This is something that I actually have not posted. This is, you know, a sketch from a day where, you know, where you're not completely feeling it, like you want to draw, but, you know, whatever you're making isn't coming out your best, like quite 100%. This is actually a little doodle of Jacksepticeye, and I've gotten so addicted to watching his videos. He has such an excellent personality, and he's so fun to watch. And my brothers love watching him too. We just curl up together and watch his videos. Oops, sorry about that, I was being summoned. But yeah, I love his videos, and I wanted to, you know, just draw him and say I'm his little septic eye, but I don't think this sketch is horrible, but I know I can do better, and I want to do better, so I will. This is a starting sketch for an original character that I will eventually turn into a reference sheet. His name is Zephaniah, and he was my very first tabletop original character. And since I don't, you know, creatively own the rights to the world that my friends created for the tabletop, I kind of adapted him for whatever purposes I want to use for him later, along with my bestest friend in the whole wide world, Ursula Decay, aka Ari Veach, and we basically spent Halloween Horror Nights talking about our characters and how we were going to, you know, adapt them to like the world that she created. But I plan on continuing him very soon. This is a not so good ink piece inspired obviously by Gina Claire, and she's very inspiring, and I love that she does unicorn ladies, and I wanted to, you know, I love her brush strokes so much. That's my dog. She's ignore her. Phoebe, stop. And I wanted to, you know, I really want to get good at the brush pen. She really inspired me to not just stick to the color stuff, but I can make, you know, a characterized ink style if I really want to, and I do. So I don't think this is really good. This didn't come out as good as I wanted to. She actually commented on this on Instagram, and she liked it, and I thought that was very sweet of her. So obviously I'm still practicing with that. This is just a little Deadpool sketch that I did. I think it was in the middle of when I was still working on the Avengers, and I wanted to draw, but I did not want to do another Avenger. Like, I needed a break. Once again, it's another kind of doodle from a day where I wasn't at my best. I don't think it's awful, but I did want to color him, and now I'm like, oh, well, he doesn't look that good. I don't know. I'm always, you know, iffy, half and half. If I always want to color him, he's right there. This is just a practice page. I was warming up, practicing a pose and whatnot, and then this is a portrait of Jennifer, my very good friend, and a fantastic custom craft and toy maker with polymer clay and jewelry, and the sweetest, one of the sweetest friends I've ever made. But we got together at Barnes & Noble, and I warm up. I spent a very long time drawing her. That's why I can't do warm-ups. I spend forever, but she's so pretty and lovely, and I had to draw her, and I'm actually pretty proud of how nicely that came out. This is, I watched Markiplier's live stream a couple of weeks ago when he was raising charity for St. Jude's Hospital, and I thought it was so cool. I think that stuff is amazing when people use their platform to help other people, and he's just such a very nice guy, and I'm sure I don't need to tell you guys how awesome Markiplier is, but I was like, oh yeah, Super Mario's, I wanted to draw him like a little mark on a Yoshi, and it's not the best. I think this is like a transitional piece for me working from my more sketchy, like figuring out how to combine the watercolors and the color pencils properly. Like, I think it was through doodling this that I learned, okay, well, I need to really put down some solid colors and find a solid color to outline the whole piece with when I make it. So this is, while this didn't turn out fantastically, it's not awful, but I learned through it, and that's what is important, obviously. And then here we have Thor, the very first in my Avenger illustrations that are now thankfully finished. They were so fun, but I am glad they are done. And the next series I do will not be of so many people because I am burnt out. But he turned out great. I started him while I was hanging out with Jennifer at Barnes & Noble. And like I said, the previous doodle with Mark was kind of like the transitional piece to me finding out how I wanted to do this. And here I really solidified a certain style that I wanted to incorporate and then say, you know what, I'm gonna do a little series out of this. And I did. The next one is Hawkeye. I'm very proud of him. He came out great. Like, there's only so many poses you can do Hawkeye in and before it gets, you know, too much. And I really thought that I conveyed his personality well. I have a nice style in here and a good likeness to Jeremy Renner. I feel personally. Anyways, I'm really proud of this. And then I have Natasha. I think she came out really well too. I know a lot of people don't like her little electric suit and her electric sticks, but I thought they were cool. Something different. Do I think her costume is the best design? No, but I don't hate it. I think it was cool. And I'm happy with like the motion that I got with this piece. This is just a doodle. I wanted to cool down. It's a cool down drawing. And I realized I'd never drawn Toothless before. I spent most, if not all of my high school and middle school years drawing dragons, and I've never drawn Toothless, so I just doodled him really quick with no reference. And what does it say? Oh, Toothless is totally a gecko with tendrils. He is. Don't you tell me he's not a gecko with tendrils. Not that I think that's bad. Toothless is adorable, but I just think it's funny. And then I'm really excited for Jurassic World to come out. And then here we have the Hulk, of course, that I did during the live stream with Tori and Boardinker. And oddly enough, this is one that everybody seemed to like the most, and I'm really glad because he was tough. The Hulk is tough. He's got such an awkward anatomy, but at the same time he's a lot of fun, and I had a lot of fun making him as well. This was actually, oh my goodness, there's a story with this one. So this is actually Mermaiden's on Instagram, and I'm not sure if she has a blog anywhere else, but she has lovely fashion posts and she is gorgeous and she wears pastel clothing and she's very inspirational. I actually took this outside and I wanted to draw outside because it was a beautiful day and I wanted to record myself and do a time lapse of myself sketching to show my process of me like actually drawing. This was before I did my little art chat, and I took it outside. I spent all morning drawing her and getting like the camera set up, and it was outside and I was sweating and there were bees, and so it's beautiful outside, but it is not for sketching, not in Florida. And my camera did not record any of it. I was so angry. It took me forever to set everything up and then do the sketching and then transfer everything onto my computer, and none of it recorded. I wanted to paint her. I don't know. I see all the flaws with it. I might fix it and then do an actual video of how I watercolor with it, but I'm not sure. This is another thing that I might come back to or I might not. This is a ink drawing that I did when I was at a coffee shop at Starbucks with Jennifer. Lady Gaga posted this amazing outfit and I was like, oh my goodness, I have to draw her in this. She's so fabulous and inspirational. I love her. And I was practicing with the brush pen and I really liked how this came out. Jen said she really liked how this came out too, and I agree. I'm actually proud of this. You can see I left my undersketch. I like leaving my undersketch there. I don't know if other people do or not, but I like the color popping through. Miguel said he likes when the color shows through on my sketches too. I don't know. Let me know. And here, of course, is Iron Man. that I did in my time lapse. In case you guys didn't know, Iron Man is my favorite Avenger, and I think he came out pretty well. And I've been staring at him way too long, so now him and all the other Avengers, I see all the mistakes and I don't like them anymore. It's so awful. This was another drawing I did during one of those days where I was not feeling at my best. She is all sorts of weird and ugh, but this is obviously Harley Quinn, and I drew her because it was when we found out what she was going to look like during Suicide Squad, and I don't know how everybody else feels about it, but I am not happy with her costume. She looks like a really bad cosplay, in my opinion. I don't know. I think they could have done way better for Harley. So I don't know, I was gonna try and I guess draw her better, but she just looks, I don't know, really wonky. I tried to give her a cool pose, but I'm not happy with this, but that's okay, because this is just a sketch. This I drew actually in the same day. I really wasn't feeling very artistic, but I wanted to draw, so I kept making myself. And I was flicking through Instagram, and Markiplier was posting all of his little beanie selfies, and he's too cute. So I wanted to do another little ink portrait for practice. And I'm happy with this, but for whatever reason, there's something about it that bothers me. There's something that feels off, and I don't know what it is. It's just one of those things where it's like, I've turned it upside down, you know, to see if I could find a mistake, you know, looking at it from a distance, and I don't know, like, I've like covered it up, be like, no, it's not his eyes, he's not, I don't know, it's just one of those weird things. Maybe there's nothing wrong with him and I've just been looking at it too long. I don't know, it's one of those weird things. Here is my first attempt at drawing Steve. I did it while I was at my grandmother's house for Mother's Day weekend. It was late at night and I wasn't really feeling like drawing, but I knew I had to get them finished, and I actually stayed up pretty late trying to draw him, and then the next morning I was like, no, he's not the one. And I didn't know what was wrong with him, so I sent a text to Jen and Tori, and they helped me out. Jen told me what was off, and Tori was kind enough to have her lovely boyfriend Chris send me a reference picture. Here is, of course, the Skelecorn from the sketch chat. That, by the way, turned out to get, I think, the most likes I've gotten in a long time on my Instagram and on my Tumblr. Just goes to show, remember when I was telling you while I was drawing this, you know, you never know. And even though I wasn't feeling well or like drawing when I made this, and I made myself do it anyways, I may not feel like this is the best I can do, and this was just for practice and, you know, just for the purpose of making myself art. And what do you know? Everybody seems to like it. That's just how it works. But I'm glad I did it, and I'm glad so many people appreciated the videos I made. This I did for a warm-up. I avoided drawing Steve for a very long time. I am so sorry for all the cuts. We have company over, and I keep getting called from the room, so this was probably a bad idea to try and make a video now. But anyways, this is a warm-up that I did. Sketch Dailies had the subject of a worm, and when I was in middle school through high school, I was just dragons, probably because my favorite show growing up was Dragon Ball Z. But I love dragons, and then naturally I got sick of drawing them, so I have scarcely drawn dragons. But I was like, you know what, I have got to do this for a warm-up and do it for Sketch Dailies, and I'm really happy with, you know, the etch work and the styling. I mean, it took me a while. I'm learning with the brush pen, you know, how to take my time, but also to allow myself to be fluid and, you know, develop a style and maybe not be so, I don't know, I'm having a hard time where I'm like, okay, well, I want to be clean because I don't want to be messy, but at the same time, I want varied lines, I want character, I want style. So I'm still, you know, learning and trying to find a happy medium with that. And then finally we have Steve, the finished Steve, the good Steve, the one that is available for sale and the one that I use to make prints, and I think he came out good. I think my style for these kind of developed, or, you know, they were all different as I went along. I kept the consistency of, you know, how I made them all, but of course it developed more and more over time. But I like the effect that I got with, you know, the watercolor and the colored pencil working together and the textures that I got. I really love texture and the white gel pen, and they were a really good learning experience for me, and I'm glad that I did it. And then I think that is it for the sketchbook. So the Chinese food came, and I had to go in and out of the room way more than I thought I was going to. And this took me way longer than I thought it would. So I got comfy and I ate, and there will be several cuts in this video, and I'm very sorry for the inconsistency and choppiness. But I hope you liked it, and I hope that's what you meant when you requested a sketchbook flip through. This is my bestest friend in the whole world. This is Phoebe, and she's my best buddy, and I wanted to introduce her to you guys. She's the one that's growling in the background and making noises and waggling and shaking her little license. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to try and make more content. I'm trying to go for quality and not quantity. I appreciate all of the likes and subscriptions and the feedback you guys are giving me. It's awesome. It makes me feel fantastic, and I'm so happy that I found this community and that you guys are appreciative and enjoying what I'm doing, and I want to do more for you, and I want to explore all the things that I can do. So yeah, that's right. Say thank you, Phoebe. Thank you, guys. If you like this video, you can find more videos. Yeah. Oh yeah. She's like, please just let me sleep. Thank you guys.